This is our 97X next big thing. Famous Tate Appliance and Bedding Center's virtual backstage. We are so excited about this one today. You might have seen them at 97X NBT 18 2 years ago. They headlined day one, and it was incredible. But it's 2020, so we're here virtually backstage and so excited to welcome Dan from Bastille.
Hello, how you doing? Hi everyone, how's it going? Hello from London, in this very dark room. Hope everyone's doing all right today. I'm gonna play a couple of songs, and this is normal, right?
Great, great. Thank you again for doing this. It means a lot to us.
Oh no, thanks to everyone so much for joining us today, me. And I hope you're all right wherever you are. It's just the best thing about Zoom is getting to nose into other people's homes, isn't it? Oh, poster, I like it. Yes. Hello everyone. All right, I'm gonna play. I'm sorry if the sound is terrible, and I'm very bad at singing and playing piano, so it's gonna potentially be awful. But you know, you can at least laugh for 5 minutes, at the very least. I'm gonna start with a song that we released this year called "Surviving," which wasn't written about this year, but it sounds like it was. So let's just pretend that it was. It was written about this year. Had a great 7 year riding on a cool ride, killing time, flying high as I hold on tight to you. To you. Did I blow my mind on the wild side, singing hallelujah to him every night with you? With you. Cause I'm not gonna lie, say I've been alright. Cause it feels like I've been living upside down. But what can I say? I'm surviving, pulling out these sheets to see another day. What can I say? I'm surviving, and I'm gonna be fine, I'm gonna be fine, I think I'll be fine. Ooh, yeah. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ooh, yeah. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Like a thundercloud in November rain, it's the black dog out running wild again for you. For you. Did I stream my way to a better fuck's sake? Sorry, I forgot the words. Trying to stream my way to a better life, but I daydream crash like vanilla sky to you. To you. Cause I'm not gonna lie, say I've been alright. Cause it feels like I've been living upside down. But what can I say? I'm surviving, pulling out these sheets to see another day. But what can I say? I'm surviving, and I'm gonna be fine, I'm gonna be fine, I think I'll be fine. Ooh, yeah. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ooh, yeah. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. What can I say? I'm surviving, pulling out these sheets to see another day. But what can I say? I'm surviving, and I'm gonna be fine, I'm gonna be fine, I think I'll be fine.
Zoom silence is a little weird. Like we're
Thanks,
clapping, I swear.
thanks for clapping for those who did. Sorry for my swearing, and for managing to mess up a song that has 2 chords in it. Welcome to the show. So I'm going to play one more song, and basically, it was either going to be a Bastille song or this. We recently did like a Christmas mashup of songs, and the vote from the station was that it should be the Christmas mashup. So the one that I just played had 2 chords in it. This has like at least 4 or 5. So prepare yourselves. It's pretty out there. So yeah, see if you can recognize them. They're very famous songs, and I apologize to the people that wrote them for doing them a horrible disservice. He's gone 2,000 miles. It's very far. The snow was falling down. It's colder day by day. I'll miss you. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Próspero año y felicidad. So have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Bring on 2021. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Próspero año y felicidad. Someday soon we all will be together if the fates allow. Until then, we'll have to muddle through somehow. So have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Thank you.
That was awesome.
Round of applause. How's everyone
Thank
doing?
you so much. We're doing good. I know everybody has a question prepared.
Oh, cool.
So I think what we'll do is I'll just unmute one person at a time and let them have the floor and then move to the next one if that's cool with you.
Yeah, totally fine with me.
Alrighty, let's start with Miley.
Hello.
Hi, Miley. Nice jumper.
Thank you. I've been
nice sweater. Is that right? Sweater?
Yeah, I got it at your tour last year.
Oh, nice. Sorry, I just had to translate for those who didn't understand. How are you doing?
I'm good. I've been a huge fan. Been my favorite band for like 8 years now, so
Oh
I'm so
wow, that's
excited.
amazing. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like our music.
Thanks. My question was, how did you, Woody, Will, Kyle all meet each other before deciding to form the band?
Oh, that's a good question. We sort of met like post college in London. We were all we'd all moved back to London after uni and were doing different jobs, and I'd started writing some songs, and I met Kyle. Kyle was a friend who I met through met through mutual friends. Will I just met through sort of the music scene here, and Woody I actually met because he lived. I was staying with my parents for a bit, and I'd been playing by myself with some songs that I'd written that were the first kind of Bastille songs, and Woody lived 2 streets away, and he was trying to earn some money by teaching drums, and he was like flyering adverts through doors, and one of them reached my mum's house, and my mum was like, "Oh, you're looking for a drummer, right?" So pretty much the coolest rock and roll origin story ever. That my mum was like, "You should give that guy a call and see if he's got any students," because I was a bit younger and I assumed that because he was a teacher that he'd just be old, which is really unfair to most teachers who are not old, or just any teachers. And so yeah, so I gave him a call and met him at the pub, and yeah, it was like a weird musical blind date. Yeah, I guess we sort of all like had friends of friends and met each other through that way, and then became really close when we started touring because we for like the first year or two kind of just rehearsing after work or after college, like in like funny little rehearsal spaces from like midnight till 3 in the morning, and then going straight to work and driving around the country in a little car, and we were all very much cramped on top of each other, and we've basically been housemates on a bus. I mean, we don't literally live together, but we've lived pretty much on top of each other for the last 7 years, 7 or 8 years since then. So yeah,
I love that. That's so cool.
that's the like abridged version.
Can I show you my jacket really quick?
Yeah, I would love to see your jacket.
I painted this.
Oh, nice.
Thank
That's
you.
great work. And what behind you? What's hanging up on the walls?
Oh, those are some ukuleles.
Oh, just your classic ukulele collection. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice. Thanks so much. I hope that was a adequate answer to your question.
I loved it. I appreciate it.
Oh, no worries at all.
Thank you, Miley.
Bye, Miley.
All right, how about Wyatt Clum?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Good. Our question for you was, what is your songwriting process like, and what's your favorite part about it?
My songwriting process is, sorry if I'm sitting quite awkwardly, I'm just at a piano, which is, so anyway. My process, I generally, ideas just pop into my head, sometimes fully formed, sometimes a little bit of melody, sometimes melodies and lyrics together. I then sing them into my phone, or whatever I can find. Because it's sort of, I kind of go through periods of having loads of ideas and then sometimes none. But when I'm having a period with loads of ideas, they will pop into my mind at the weirdest and most annoying moments, be that like in the middle of the night, or in the cinema, or like at a gig, or in a bar, or just, I don't know, at dinner. So I often like try and sneak off and sing them into my phone whilst not looking like a psychopath, which is more often than not quite hard. Anyway, and then there's like, I guess sometimes I'll go and work on it straight away. Other times I need to come back to things when I've got the headspace, and I'll like listen back to things and find the good ones that I love and assimilate ideas from there. But I guess everything's changed this year because I've had a lot more sort of time and space to just concentrate on writing. So it's been really different. I've been able to, if an idea pops into my head, I could just go and start recording the song straight away, which is great. Yeah, and then often I will just sit down and work the song up on my laptop from some vocal ideas into like a full production. My productions are terrible, which is why I co-produce everything with our friend Mark, who's technically much better than me. But yeah, I think for me it's just about kind of vomiting ideas. I don't know if my barometer on what's good and not isn't. I can't tell, so I have to play stuff to other people and see what they think. But yeah, that's my process. And then I guess I always wrote songs by myself, and as we kind of progressed through our albums, and you know, I got to know the music industry a bit more. I was always really surprised to learn that people co-write, and there's a whole world out there of producers and writers and that kind of thing. So you know, when I grow up, I want to be a songwriter. So that's kind of something to work towards. So I now I'm getting more familiar with that world, and it's fascinating, and I'm, you know, trying to learn from other writers and other musicians about their techniques and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think for some people it comes really naturally. For some people it's a bit of a grind. For some people it's a kind of mathematical puzzle. It's just it's different. And I don't know, sorry for waffling, but from my experience, like sometimes it can be different from song to song. I wrote a song for like a film the other day, and it was such a nice process to sort of watch it, write the song, and it was all done within like 4 hours just by myself in this room. And that's, you know, but whereas other ones can be like a couple of weeks in the studio of like trying different things. And yeah, so that's my process. I hope it's helpful to hear that.
Thank you so much.
No worries, thanks for your question.
Thank you, guys. Let's go to Gabby.
Hi, how are you?
Hi Gabby, I'm good. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Glad to hear.
If music wasn't your passion, what do you think you would be pursuing instead?
Ooh, good question. I wanted to be a film journalist when I was before music, and I went to college and did an English major, and then was going to do a master's in journalism, but that was at the same time that the band stuff started taking up a lot of my time, so it was kind of a choice of which to pursue. Yeah, and I ended up sort of deferring my journalism thing for a few years. Have always been a massive film nerd, but too lazy to make films because it sounds like a lot of effort. Yeah, I guess I'd like to think I would do that. I probably would be doing something not as interesting or cool. Yeah, but who knows? What about you?
I'm actually studying international relations in Spanish right now, and I hope to work for the United Nations one day.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's such a good answer. Good luck with your. Is that a degree, or is that a postgrad, or what's that?
Yes, it's my undergrad degree.
Oh, nice. That's brilliant. Well, good luck with your degree, and I hope to see you from afar. We'll be like, oh look, he's Gabby from the United Nations. Wow. As we so often do with all the people that work at the United Nations. But yeah, no, that'd be incredible.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gabby. Let's go to Amber. Oh, you gotta unmute. Oh. There you go.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks for joining today.
Good. Oh, thank you. My question for you was, how did the Goosebumps EP exactly come about?
Well, we had been just working on. I sort of am always writing, and so we had a day off, and we were on tour last year going around the US. We had a day off, and so I booked a studio with our friend Mark, who we produced everything with, and a friend called Dan, who's a really good producer and musician, and we got a little room in Brooklyn, in New York, and just wrote a bunch of songs. I've been trying to change the process of how I work a bit, and rather than doing everything by myself, trying to sort of let other people in a bit more and collaborate. So yeah, Goosebumps it was an idea. Like I said before, I kind of sung a bunch of it on my phone. When we got into the room and I just played the guys the bits that I've recorded, then they really liked it. So that's kind of how that song came about. And then we worked on it with Kenny Beats. When he came to London, he came down our studio and he, did some production on the track, which was really fun. I think the EP was kind of born out of born out of wanting to write with other people and collaborate with other people and bring in as many musicians as possible and kind of keep people surprised and guessing. And it originally wasn't going to be an EP. Originally, it was just going to be a bunch of songs, but I wanted to do different versions of the tracks as well. To sort of, I guess, the whole point of the music we put out this year was just to keep people guessing and hopefully keep people entertained and distracted. And it was a really important thing for us to have music to make and a purpose. And this is just a tiny glimpse of the stuff that we've done this year, because it's been a really productive and busy year. And I'm so grateful for that, because it's obviously been so hard for so many people. And so for us to have a kind of purpose, even if it's just making songs, and that's obviously, it's not important, but it's given us a really, like a through line to the year. So yeah, I guess we just set out to try and work with people that we respected and thought were interesting, and I guess for fans of our music and other people to kind of surprise a bit. Previously, we've done mixtapes, and I think this time around we wanted to do an EP because we wanted to kind of take more ownership of the songs. And I guess we're seeing it as a bit of a reset of like how we do things. We've done our 3 albums, and I guess we were always going to take this year away. It just so happens that a lot of the world's been forced to take this year away as well. So yeah, I guess I hope that answers your question. Sorry, I think I went off on a bit of a ramble.
Oh no, you're good. It was great.
Thanks, Amber.
Yeah.
Thanks for the question.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Amber. Okay, Joseph Sullivan, you got a full setup there.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. You got the pop shield. You got the really nice headphones.
Yep.
What mic you got?
This is a Audio Technica. So.
Someone's real deal where they know what they bought. How are you doing, man? Yeah.
Pretty good. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate that. And Sam, thank you. 97X. So the question I wanted to ask is if you remember the first time you heard your songs in public or on the radio, and what that moment felt like.
Yeah, God, of course, I very much do. There's a station in the UK called Radio 1, which is obviously the UK's tiny compared to the US, and there's national radio that plays everywhere, and there's a handful of stations, and Radio 1 is like, maybe not so much anymore, but at the time kind of had the power to like break new artists. So as part of your like progress, as part of our going from playing in pubs to playing in venues and all that kind of stuff, if Radio 1 played your songs, it was like, and it still is like the most exciting thing in the world if you're from the UK. Like, it was always very exciting. And I remember the first time they played one of our tunes, we were like losing our minds. And we had a song called Flaws, which was one of the first songs we put out here, and we were driving around the country in a tiny splitter van, all kind of crammed in the back with all our gear, and it came on the radio. We initially like lost our cool and were like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then we sort of sat there and we're like, what do you do? Like, we're way too British and self-effacing to sort of like style it out or sing along to it or anything. So we were like, do we turn it off? Like, do we sing along? Do we, like, I don't know, should we pull over? And I think by the time we stopped debating it, they finished the song, and they had whatever they'd said about it, we'd missed anyway. So I think we kind of like Britished it out. But yeah, it was so exciting. And I think, I remember when things started sort of taking off for us, and people were like, friends or family, whatever, would call me like, oh my God, your song's on in this shop. And that was like just the most exciting thing ever. I also remember so vividly, we were in Bath in the UK, which was the first gig where I remember we had like a front row of fans who knew the words to like at least half of our songs, which was that just completely blew my mind. So yeah, I hope that's all right answer.
Yeah, that was good, and that's cool because Flaws is probably one of my favorite songs of yours, and so that's pretty interesting. Yeah,
I hear that. Thanks, man.
Yep, thank you.
Very good question. I'm a big fan of it. All right, Ashley Ramos.
Hi, Ashley.
Mute.
Wait, unmute.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How
I'm
you
like
doing?
in now, so it's like well. Yeah, I love you guys for a long time. I actually have a couple of tattoos from
Amazing.
yeah, so I don't know if you can see. I don't know how to use cameras,
Oh
but
yeah, see, that's so cool. Oh, thank you so much.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
So my question is, sorry, I'm a little nervous. What song means the most to you? It could be your song or anybody else's song.
Wow, that's such a big question. And don't be nervous. You just watched me fumble my way through like 6 answers. But I don't know. That's such a good question. I think about when I was at university, I used to have a student radio show with my best friend, and at the time I was really obsessed with Anthony and the Johnsons, whose artist project's now Anoni, and a singer called Regina Spektor. And we were so obsessed with Regina Spektor that we went to see her shows. And then we used the fact that we had a radio show to, even though it was like, had I think 1.5 listeners, and that was like our mum and a dog. Like we used that as an excuse to get an interview with her. And she had this song called Samson that we were always really obsessed with. So I was thinking of that song. We interviewed her, and it was the worst interview you could ever possibly imagine. We just sat there opposite her, basically being like, "We love you. You're so amazing." And she was so uncomfortable, as you could expect. And she was, I probably quite terrified, but she was very sweet, and she kind of styled it out. We were asking her the worst questions, and every time she had an answer, we'd just start telling her how much we loved her again. So we couldn't even use any of the audio that we got from the interview. It was terrible. But for that reason, I was just thinking about, this year and how different everything is. And I guess for the last sort of 7 years or so, we as a band have been lucky enough to be touring kind of the whole time. And I think we probably took for granted how easily and how frequently we could travel. And, obviously it's a real luxury to do that. And it's, not amazing from a carbon footprint perspective, but it was just something that we really took for granted, and at times was a bit of a grind. And now I think about traveling and how amazing it is. And my point that I'm taking ages to get to was one of the last things that we did was a trip to New York. And I remember getting to see Regina Spektor play. She had a residency on Broadway, and me and a couple of friends went to go see the show, and she finished with that song, Samson. And it was just her on this grand piano, and it started to snow in the venue. Like, obviously it wasn't real snow, but just the friends that I were with didn't really like her music, but one of them was crying, which I think is always a good sign. I mean, I think it was crying because they thought it was beautiful, not because they were like, this is the fucking worst thing in the world. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, that it's funny when there are songs that have like a through line through your life, and it's just that song means a lot to me because, I went from being the biggest like Regina Spektor stan who would like stand outside the back of her gigs and be front row at the shows, and tricked our way into an interview with her, and and I guess I remember being at the gigs, and I never really imagined being in a band or being a musician. So I remember waiting for her to come out, and like the idea of backstage, I was like, what happens back there? What are they doing? Like, what's it like? Yeah. And it's just funny to have gone from that to seeing her get play more recently, and that song still resonating so much, and and the songwriting as well. It's like the idea of projecting into stories and into kind of mythology and stuff is something that we've always done in our music. So I've always taken loads of inspiration from her. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, that was really long, and there were loads of tangents. I didn't need to talk about travel or like carbon footprints. Sorry.
You're fine. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No worries. And of our songs, I think they're all rubbish, so I don't know.
No, for sure. I have 3 of them tattooed on me, so.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't undermine that. Which ones do you have? Which ones do you have?
I have Wild Warmth on my arm, like on here.
Yeah. So sorry.
Sorry, I don't know if I can. I'm like sitting on my bed, so I just moved. So I'm like, so this is my Warmth tattoo. I have Doom Days right here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I have Weight of Living on my Weight of Living part 1 on my wrist.
We have similar taste in Bastille songs, for sure. Warmth means a lot to me. We're actually releasing a version of Warmth with an orchestra in January, which I'm really excited about. And because I always was really gutted that we never got to release it properly. And yeah, Doom Days I felt of the last album was just as a song, just being able to, I don't know, just, I guess I'm really proud of the lyric in that song and everything it says. And it feels like even, you know, being able to write that and then go out and sing it on stage every night in the sort of last few years that we've had, it's quite cathartic for me. So yeah, I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much again.
No worries.
Thank you, Ashley. All right, Lexi R.
Where's Lexi? Oh, hey.
Hi.
What you doing?
I just want to say your music means like so much to me. I've been a fan for like 7 or 8 years now. I have also a tattoo of the anchor on my arm.
Oh,
That's how
wow.
much it means to me.
Oh, wow.
You guys are great, and I've like always appreciated all of your projects, especially like the mixtapes. So I wanted to ask you, what are some like artists that you're looking forward to working with in the future for like future projects that you're going to be releasing?
That's a really good question.
Or like ones that you would want to work with in the future.
Yeah, you know, there's a new artist called Arlo Parks who I think is amazing. I think she's really interesting. She's a young like British artist. I don't know. I think the thing with the mixtapes is like when we're in the mode of, I don't know, of touring and meeting other musicians, that's kind of it's just like a really fun challenge to sort of see who's up for it and think of other interesting voices. Like for me, the mixtapes have been a really interesting mix of like us experimenting, friends we've met, people we've met on tour, random people that we love that we've approached and they've said yes. Other songs that just sort of like come from a writing session, you know, others that have come from being on tour with bands that we love. The record label that I run, like that's also been a source of like a load of those artists. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I haven't thought, I'm so in like making our own music mode at the moment that I haven't even like thought about that, which is awful and selfish, but they're my favorite place to collaborate. I guess, you know, this year getting to work with Kenny Beats was really fun, and getting to work with Graham Coxon earlier this year was like an absolute dream. You know, I think I guess what I was saying earlier about the EP almost bringing the world of mixtapes into what we do. Like I think it kind of represents a lot of different sounds. Like there's a kind of heavy rock song on there with Graham Coxon, who's like a legend of a guitarist from like one of our bands that we love growing up. And then Kenny Beats, who's like contemporary, works like in hip hop and kind of R&B. And then, you know, then there's just me on the piano. I feel like if we'd had more time to think about it, we probably would have done this EP as a mixtape, but I didn't just say that. Who would you like to see us work with?
That's a really good question. Honestly, I feel like you guys would do like a really good song with like MGMT. I feel like you guys' like voice with their beats, that would be like perfect.
It's so weird. We were just like we were just talking about their sound for that first album, that the sound of the first album, like for a song that we're working on at the moment, we were like referencing them. I fucking love them.
I love them too. I feel like that would be great.
Okay, well, for you, Lexi, we'll try and make it happen.
Okay. And also, I just wanted to say really quick, I felt like that you would love to know this, that I choreographed a dance for Doom Days for my college, but we never got to perform it because
well, because of COVID.
Yeah.
Look, is there any? Thank you so much, by the way. Is there any way of seeing it, or is it not? It doesn't exist anywhere.
I have like videos from practice, but like that's it. We didn't get to like fully stage it together.
I know COVID has done a lot of awful things, and it's very selfish to say this, but that's bad.
Yeah. It's very sad.
From a selfish perspective. Oh man. Well, thank you. Thanks so much for putting all the time in. I would have loved to have seen it. Maybe at some point.
Maybe someday. Thank you so much.
Well, next time we're in town playing a show, you can come up and do it on the stage.
Okay, that would be great. Deal. We'll shake on it.
Yeah. In a nice safe 2020 social distance way.
Yes, for sure. Elbow bump. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Lexi. All right, I think we got 2 more. We'll go to Lynn Jackson.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi.
How you
How are
doing?
you? Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, I'm all good.
Awesome.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah. So the question I have for you is, what do you miss most about touring?
Good question. I miss, you know, how. I mean, I've got to be really honest. I have kind of realized this year that sometimes I don't love being on stage. It's not like super. It's not the most like natural thing for me. But what I do miss is getting to meet people who like our music. It's such a privilege to, just it's so many amazing, brilliant, funny, different, fascinating people who've happened to like our band and want to come and hang out in a big, busy room and listen to our music. Like it's really crazy to me. I think I love writing songs. I love being in the studio. Being on stage isn't a natural home for me, but getting to play to people and getting to have people sing back songs that I wrote in my bedroom and worked on with my friends is a huge thing for me. And traveling, getting to visit different cities in America, different states, different countries all around the world. I've always been obsessed with traveling, and whenever we have breaks, I always try and go to like a country I've not been to before and just backpack around and do whatever. So that's another thing I miss. And mainly it's the family that we have on tour. It's the guys in the band. It's the four of us. It's Charlie Barnes. It's our crew. Everyone. Like we spend, I don't know, 70% of we've spent like probably about 70%. I don't know why I picked 70 and I don't know why I'm saying percentages, but we spent a hell of a lot of time over the last like 7-8 years of our lives, like all together and all on tour. So it's kind of weird. We leave this double life where we have most of the time on tour with this one set of people, and then we come home and go back to normal. And so it's been really weird. It's like, I guess this year, like everyone's lives have shrunk and everyone sees a lot less people. But that's been really strange. So I guess, yeah, those are things. Getting to meet fans and play to people who like our music and festivals. I really miss festivals. Like, as a mega music fan, like one of the biggest luxuries of being in a band is playing at festivals and you get the fucking ticket for free and you get there and you look at like who's playing today and you just hope that the day that you're playing coincides with all the bands you want to see. And if it does, you're like, yes! And you just run around and see as many as you can. And I guess over the course of a summer, you can catch up on all the shows that you've missed that year. So that's also cool. So having started by saying that I don't like touring, I then just talked myself around. I miss it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go to Jason with Famous Tate Appliance Bedding Centers. They are a huge partner with the radio station, and at 97X Next Big Thing, they kind of sponsor and make our whole backstage area happen, but also big fans. So take it away,
Nice.
Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Hey, how you doing? We really enjoy making this happen for such a great group of fans. It's amazing listening to their stories. And we're at work today. We're not at a pub. It's still the afternoon. It's cold. I've got our head appliance buyer with me, Paul, and he had a question. Big
Hello.
fan.
Yeah. Now I probably have the world's worst question, so Ashley, feel perfectly happy to laugh at me here. My question to you is Happier, the song Happier. I think it made everybody in the world cry with the video. But what was the relationship of the songs and the words to the song and that video?
Good, yeah, really good question. I would like to take responsibility for it, but so with the song, I wrote the song, kind of with the songwriter. And it's one of the first times I'd ever written with someone else. And I kind of, most of the idea for the song kind of came to me weirdly. I was going to this writing session with this guy I didn't know, and I was kind of nervous. And then in the shower in the morning, the song just like most of it just popped into my head, which is weird and was fucking lucky considering I had to go to this session. Wrote the song with this guy, ended up sort of giving the song to Marshmallow and working on him with it. And then I guess within our little world of Bastille, like I I love working on the artwork and the videos and all the elements of them. Like, it's a really fun part of the job, and getting to, you know, pretend that you're making a little movie with the video and posters with the artwork and all that kind of stuff. But with this, because we were collaborating with Marshmello, and he's a ginormous artist, and it's part of this sort of big, quite slick machine. We went through loads of video treatments, and the ones that I was always pushing for were weird, because we make quite weird videos, and his manager really pushed for this narrative about losing a family pet, and I guess, yeah, we just kind of trusted them on that, and it's just, it really resonates. Like, the song from my perspective was about, you know, about the end of a relationship and about the sort of grief around that, but he took it to be, you know, I think that's something that happened to him recently, and you know, it's one of the only experiences of a video where I kind of wasn't there and present and part of the creative process. But I feel like it's interesting when those things happen, because I feel like for some people the video is more resonant than other things. It's, you know, when things that we're involved in kind of cut through to the mainstream, I always know it, because you get messages from like random aunts and like friends of friends and that kind of thing. And there was, you know, when that video came out, I just got a hell of a lot of messages from people being like, "Why did you kill the dog? How can you do that?" You know, and I think it really, you know, messages from that end of the spectrum to other, you know, other people in families who've had pets and dogs that are a huge part of their family, and then they've, you know, experienced that loss and how hard it can be, have you know, reached out and said that they found it cathartic or really upsetting, and again, angry. Stop it! Why did you do that? So yeah, so it's I guess, yeah, the process of how a song and a video can be melded. Sometimes they sort of come together fully formed, and other times it's somebody's interpretation of the song, and I guess that's how they chose to interpret it. I hope that answers your question. Sorry that there's not a cooler answer.
No, it's kind of what I thought maybe it was, you know, but thank you.
Oh, no worries at all. And thank you guys for making this happen. It's been really fun.
Yeah, we're happy to do it. And I know everyone enjoyed seeing you in Tampa a couple of years ago with Next Big Thing. And
yeah,
again,
it was really fun.
Yes, thank you for always being up for anything with our station. We love you guys and always here for your music, of course. And thanks for doing this, the weird 2020 version of meet and greets now, I guess this is.
But it feels like way more, even though it's really distant, it feels kind of a bit more like real and engaged, which is, I think the kind of awkward weirdness of being in a room with a bunch of people and stuff passing by really quickly kind of dissipates a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, thank you all so much. Thank you for having us, and for having me. It's weird. I don't know why I'm calling myself us. And all of you, thanks so much for coming. It's been really nice.
Yes, thank you guys. You can take a quick screenshot if you want, and then we'll wrap it up. It's our 97X Next Big Thing, Famous Tate, Appliance and Bedding Center virtual backstage with Bastille. Thank you so much. We will see you soon at a show for sure.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.